Hello everyone, Mike McGee from Nutanix Technical Marketing, and in this demo I'm going to step you through Data Lens. Data Lens is a software as a service that runs in the public cloud that gives you analytics including audit trails, anomaly detection, ransomware protection, tiering, reporting, and other benefits for your unstructured data environments. The global dashboard gives you an aggregated view of all of your enabled file servers, including anomaly status, total capacity, number of shares, number of directories, and number of files. With Nutanix Pulse, Data Lens can determine where a file server resides. You can see that in the file server region view. You can click on a given region to see which file servers are in that area, and click on a file server for additional details. By default, Data Lens is disabled for file servers. To enable, you would simply come to the list of file servers, go to a disabled file server, and choose Enable. To go to a file server view within Data Lens, you can either choose from a particular file server in the file server list, or go to the menu up top, go to Select File Server, and choose a given instance. Once you choose a file server, you are entered into a file server-centric view, starting with the dashboard. The dashboard contains items like the capacity trend, which shows you the increase or decrease in storage over your selected time frame. You can actually click on any one of the bar charts to get a better understanding of the shares and exports that contributed to the increase or decrease in storage, including the file category. The file category is essentially the file extension that you can help define. You can see the overall file distribution by type based on those categories in this view here. You can see the trends over time by clicking View Details. And you can also specify your own categories by simply going to the top menu, Manage File Categories, and edit any of the existing default categories or create your own. You can also see file distribution by size on the dashboard, and also a combination of specific items based on the audit trail. So for example, permission denials, the most active users, the most active or accessed files, and also a chart of the given file operations. Again, each one of these you can choose over a given time period. Also in the dashboard, you'll see a summary of the data age, and this is really the file age of the various files on the file server. And these are categories you can define to determine what you consider hot, warm, or cold data. You can also use Data Lens to tier data to qualified S3 compliant object stores. Tiering is based on either capacity thresholds or also data age thresholds. You can also explore the data age based on not only the file server, but also based on specific shares. So very granular view to help you determine whether you would like to utilize tiering and otherwise understand the age of the files on the system. Data Lens also gives you full audit trails. These are all the file operations that occur in real time, forwarded to Data Lens. So read operations, write operations, file deletes, and so on. You can search these audit trails, either looking for files or wildcard-based search for files, folders, users, and also the clients. For example, if I go to users, I can do a wildcard search for all users. I can specify a particular user that I'm looking for, and then find all the audit information for that particular user. I'll go ahead and click View Audit. And I can see all the users' operations over time. I can choose to filter that based on a start and end date. And I can also choose to filter the operation type. And then once I find what I want, I can export that out to CSV or JSON to forward off to operations teams, to security teams, and so on. I can also choose to create anomaly policies around these audit trails. So essentially determining when do I want to be alerted based on a given set of operations. Anomaly rules can be set for items like create, delete, permission denial, and so on, Within that, you can determine the percentage of operations. So for example, did someone delete 1% or 100% of all files on the system? I could do it based on an operation count. Did someone do 500 deletes over a given time period? So that could be hourly or daily. You can also determine whether this was done by an individual user or all users on the system. Once you determine your anomaly rules, you'll start to see any anomalies surface on the dashboard of the anomaly page, and you'll also be alerted via email when these happen as well. A deeper form of anomaly detection is the ransomware protection built into not only Nutanix files, but also DataLens. DataLens will automatically apply a block signature list to your file server when enabled. Blocked signatures are essentially file name patterns or file extension patterns of no ransomware variants. When a given file is attempted to be created or renamed based on this block signature list, it will be prevented based on the file locking feature within Nutanix files. If any specific ransomware events occurred, they'll be bubbled up into the vulnerability list that you see here. Again, you can sort this out over time. You can see what share was impacted, the client that initiated the event, and what file was actually impacted. The DataLens page will also alert you to whether or not you have self-service restore enabled against your shares. Self-service restore can help you if for some reason a ransomware event occurs, you'll be able to restore from another file version or from a previous point in time. If shares aren't enabled for SSR, you can actually do that either from DataLens or from Nutanix files itself. Also, in an upcoming version of DataLens, not only will DataLens protect you based on the block signature list, it will also detect, based on the auditing events, ransomware-like patterns. So file rename events, for example, that match typical ransomware patterns, allow you to block the user or the client based on those operations. DataLens also has full reporting. So if you want to get a better understanding of what's going on in the system and forward that out to other administrators, you can do that as well. When you create a report, you can define it based on files, folders, users, or events. So for example, if I wanted to create a file report based on the size of files, I want to find any file greater than or equal to, say, 1 gigabyte on the system. I can go ahead and run a preview based on those parameters. I can generate that report and also save it for later. I hope this gives you a good overview of DataLens and how it can help you get deeper insights into your unstructured data, help you tier data to the public cloud, and help you detect, protect, and recover from ransomware events.